Russia. A land of ice, endless forests, and unimaginable power. For more than 3 centuries, one royal family ruled it all. From the frozen north to the warm shores of the Black Sea, their palaces glittered with gold. Their armies shook Europe, and their name became legend. But behind the walls of this golden empire, a storm was rising, a storm that would wipe their dynasty off the face of history. This is the rise and fall of the Romanov family, the last rulers of Russia. In 1613, Russia was on its knees. War, famine, foreign invaders, chaos everywhere, and in the middle of this darkness, the nobles chose a 16-year-old boy, Mikhail Romanov, to save the nation. When the crown touched his head, a new era began. The Romanovs promised stability, strength, and a united Russia. No one knew that this simple coronation would create a dynasty that would outlast kingdoms, empires, and centuries. Then came Peter the Great, the Tsar who refused to let Russia remain isolated. He traveled Europe in disguise, studied ships, learned engineering, and returned with a mission to drag Russia into the modern world. Under Peter, a navy was born, factories rose from nothing, and a new capital, St. Petersburg, was carved out of frozen swamps. In just one lifetime, he transformed Russia from a quiet kingdom into a world superpower. After Peter came Catherine the Great, one of the most powerful women in world history. Under her rule, Russia expanded deeper into Europe and across the Black Sea. Philosophers wrote to her. Artists flocked to her court. From science to art to military power, Russia entered its golden age. But while palaces glittered with diamonds, the peasants suffered under impossible taxes. Deep beneath the luxury, anger was quietly boiling. By the time Nicholas II took the throne, Russia was a giant standing on fragile legs. Factories filled cities with smoke. Workers demanded fair pay. Revolutionary groups were spreading like wildfire. Nicholas was gentle, kind, devoted to his family, but he was uncertain, indecisive, and easily influenced. The worst traits a ruler could have in a time of crisis, and the empire needed strength more than ever. In 1917, after years of suffering, hunger, and a devastating war, the people finally snapped. Crowds flooded the streets of Petrograd, factories shut down, soldiers refused to fire on civilians, many even joined the protesters. Within days, the Romanovs lost their authority. The empire that once ruled 1/6 of the world collapsed, without a single organized battle. The Romanovs, Nicholas, Alexandra, and their 5 children, were taken from their palace and moved from one remote house to another, their titles removed. Their wealth seized. Once the most powerful family on earth, now prisoners of the revolution. Yet through it all, they stayed gentle, hopeful, and united. No one knew what awaited them. But every day felt colder than the one before. In the early hours of July 17, 1918, the 300-year-old Romanov dynasty came to an end. No crowns, no armies, no escape. A family that once ruled an empire simply disappeared into the pages of history. The world would never be the same again. Today, the Romanovs remain one of history's greatest mysteries and most tragic stories. Their fall created the Soviet Union, shaped global politics, and changed the 20th century forever. A dynasty of wealth, power, and beauty, destroyed by war, revolution, and time itself. But their legacy lives on. In Russia's palaces, its people, and the frozen echoes of history. And that brings us to the end of this unforgettable chapter in world history. If you enjoyed this journey into the rise and fall of the Romanov dynasty, then you're in the right place. Because this channel brings history to life like never before. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me which history story you want next. Your support helps this channel grow, and together, we'll keep uncovering the powerful stories that shaped our world. Thank you for watching.